I would describe myself as a builder, a very much on-hands kind of guy. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I love what I do. I was thrown into the deep end at the age of 17, and I started working for my family, and that's where I started my career. And unfortunately, I never managed to get to university. And I want to emphasize this for all of you young people out there, that university is a good thing to go to. I think it makes you a better all-rounder. It gives you more perspective on different things depending on what you're going into. But I think one should attend university. I didn't, but and I do have some regrets, but I worked just as hard. And I think I give this example many times, is that if you if you're going to become an architect, you actually have to go to and produce designs and do things practically. Well, you can't become a businessman by doing an MBA, because if you don't practice in real life business, you're never going to do it. So, to become a doctor, you have to do an internship for a year or 2 years in a hospital, because you have to practice. Well, you can't become a really good businessman by doing an MBA, because you're not really practicing anything. You're learning by example a lot of things in the MBA, but you're really not practicing. And if you haven't run a corner store, or if you haven't gone to a bank, asking to borrow money for your project, you really never know what is happening. So my suggestion would be that if you have the opportunity to go to university, do it. If you're on hard times and you can't afford both things, then it's your call. I believe the greatest challenge one faces in hindsight, now that I look at my career, are humans. And the challenge is actually for you to be able to deal with human beings that will come to you in many shapes, forms, and characters. And if you can play the humans, you're going to be really, really successful. Yeah, I believe that I would have possibly been, a more capable person if I had gone to university, but then I might not have been in business. I might have gone into something else. So I can't say that. But I have no regrets. And I believe that I've done a really, really, God has been extremely kind to me throughout my career, and I've done a good job. And again, I go back to the fact that, 50% is how intelligent you are. The other 50% is how good a human being one is. So I don't know if that's answered your question, but how do I, and if there's anything I would change, there are many things I might change, but I have no regrets today, so I don't really have a problem with what I've done. Well, the mobile phone, to start with, we used to have to go to the post office to make a call if you were in a foreign country, because you wouldn't, I wasn't allowed to use the hotel phone because they used to charge you 5 times the rate. So I'm just making that up, but that is true. So I think the mobile phone itself has made a big difference. But technology has changed the world. I do honestly believe that we are still at the early stages of technology. I think there's a lot more to go. It's a little bit like the Industrial Revolution 150 years ago, or whatever, 200 years ago. I think technology is just beginning, and there's going to be a lot of changes over the next 10 to 15 years. My biggest concern about technology is the threats that technology brings, and the access to humans to manipulate already a very fragile world. There are good things about it, but there are bad things about it. And do we have the control over technology in terms of governments and things to be able to control the bad people. I think there's no shortcut to hard work. You have to work hard. Everybody gets lucky, okay? And there is luck. There is, right place, right time works for a lot of people. But you've got to be there to get it, right? So while you're working hard, everybody gets those right places and right times. Okay, so those opportunities, it's a little bit like playing poker. Everybody gets an opportunity, you just have to be there to take it. So to be there to take it, you have to consistently work hard, okay? Number one. Number two, I believe that the people that you work with are extremely important. And you need, if you're the leader, then you need to pass on the credit to others. You have to get people to buy in to the project or to the idea. If they haven't taken ownership and if they haven't bought in, you're going to struggle with those people. So, I'm a great believer in working with teams, and I believe that anything that you want done, you need to have a consensus amongst your employees or your partners or people that you work with. You need to have consensus. It's very difficult to take an idea and run with it if everybody else hasn't bought into it.
Thank you for watching, and please do follow the British Pakistan Foundation on our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter accounts.